Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Warm welcome to all viewers once again. Welcome to the last webinar discussions of Maldives Marine Expo virtual edition. My name is Aishat Naifa. I will be your moderator for the webinar. Our discussion topic for today is nurturing a career in maritime industry. I am joined by inspiring and passionate advocates of the marine industry. Our first finalist is Miss Azka Adil, a natural swimmer who began her swimming journey at 6 years old and still going strong. Her swimming portfolio is nationally recognized and an inspiration for many. Our second panelist is Miss Suha Shafil, a profound diver. Her passion of diving began back in 2010 and currently is a diving instructor. And our final panelist is Mr. Hussein Sofat from Delhi Seafarers Labour Union, a prominent team advocating for betterment of seafarers. My first question goes to Ms. Suha. Can you explain to me or someone who has never dived before, how is it like down there and what does diving mean to you?
Mm, the first thing that comes to my mind is peace when you're diving. It's really peaceful. It's just you and your equipment, your buddy, and seeing this beautiful underwater world. No? So diving, I'd say, is my passions.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Suha. I would like to ask Azka, what inspired you to get involved in swimming, and what would you say your goal was back then?
I think as a Maldivian, it's an obligatory part of your life learning how to swim. So I just went to swim, learn how to swim, and I was doing pretty well. So my swim teacher he suggested that I take part in a competition, and surprisingly, so I excelled pretty well in it. So it motivated me to go further in it. Plus, back then I used to play multiple sports, but then like basketball, netball, but I was a sporty kid. But I think I didn't like sweating as a kid, so swimming was the perfect sport for me to go for then.
So, what would you say your biggest achievement has been so far?
I think that would be last year in February. We had the longest endurance event organized in the Maldives. It's called the bar crawl. We swam from island to island for which was like 23 islands in 40, which was 43 kilometers of swimming. We completed that along with 8 other swimmers. I was the only girl and the youngest to complete it.
Thank you, Ms. Aska. I would like to ask Mr. Sofat, can you please explain to the audience the objective and mandates of the Divehi Seafarers Labour Union, and also how the union functions and the union notable achievements so far?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Actually, the Seafarer Labor Union is the form for the benefits and the rights of the seafarers in the Maldives. At anywhere, I mean, we are the parents of the seafarers in the Maldives. Actually, at the moment. Last year, we met in the United Kingdom for ILO, and we have the local also. We have met Ministry of Transport, Higher Education. This is regarding the rights of the seafarers. It's the things actual we have done in last 3 or 4 years like that.
Thank you, Mr. Sofat. My next question is for Suha. You have been diving since 2016. What has been your proudest moment within your career, and what are your future goals?
My proudest moment, I think, would be when I got to certify my first open water diver. So just to know that I had something to do in the fact that somebody is now going to get to enjoy this whole new world, and it's going to be maybe inspiring others to be diving as well. That was a pretty gratifying moment for me. And my future goals, I'd say I'd want as many kids diving in the Maldives as possible, like boys and girls start from a young age, so they know what it's like, that they know it's an option to go forward in the future for them as well.
Thank you. Aska, I am very curious to know, can you apply any lessons you have learned throughout your swimming journey to your everyday life?
I think more than the achievements and the medals that you won, what we learn from swimming, what we learn from the sport is what we carry with us for the rest of our lives. So the values of like hard work, persistence, to be like punctual, those are the things, the fundamentals that you learn even in sport, and but those are the things that you carry with you even as you grow. So I think it's helped me to be persistent as well, and to being, even though it's an individual sport, you have lots of teammates by your side. So I've learned how to work as a team even now at work. I think the fundamental of it came from swimming.
Thank you. That was lovely to know. Mr. Sofat, it is a well-known fact that the Maldivians had a well-rooted shipping background, and becoming a seafarer was a popular job back then. Things have slightly changed now. Can you explain how important seafarers are to the Maldivian economy, and what are the key challenges for a new seafarer to join a shipping line as a career?
Yeah, in the 80s, me Maldivian seafarers are the number one seafarers in these areas. Actually, Maldivian owns 80 ships in this area. At that time, our ships are in Europe, Middle East, Africa. These places our ships are in there. But there was a change in the trend of the shipping. That's why we actually, at that time, in Manasal is having some general cargo ship. That time the vessels can be was changed for the container ships. That's why MNSL they have only this general cargos. That's why a lot of people lose their jobs at time. In later in 90s, people was me the same people was in there. We there's no grassroots for the me industry. That's why these days we there is me difficulties of getting the job for the millennials. Actually, people from the other countries like India, Philippines, from their government, they have support them lot to gain this market. So nowadays, it's very difficult to get Moldavian to the opportunities for the foreign going ships.
Thank you, Mr. Sofat. Suha, I would like to ask you as well. Are there any life hacks that you have learned from diving that you still apply today?
Um, yes, I think the most important life hack would be the ability to keep calm in almost any situation, because you have to do that when you're diving as well. You have to keep calm and know what you're doing, be in control of yourself. So I think that's the most important life hack I've learned with diving.
Yeah. Aska, my next question is for you. You must have overcome many obstacles. Can you please explain to me what should a beginner expect as a challenge?
As an athlete, you face so many obstacles your way. So I think the constant obstacle and challenge that we all have is like that I have is keeping myself constantly motivated is very hard. Like to day in, day out, to train, to go about your day with the tiredness you have. That's the motivational factor. It's you have to keep it constant, and for that I struggle. So I think when you start your swimming career, or when you start your journey, it'll be tough to keep yourself constantly motivated. But what's helped me is to like focus on the process, and enjoy the process, and not focusing on the end result really helped me to be like constant with that.
And what's the one thing you wish more people knew about your swimming journey?
Oh, I what others see is the success of it, what you achieve, but I wish others saw the struggles and the trainings and the hardship that you go through to reach that level.
Yeah. So, from your last answer, I was curious to ask you this question. For someone who is considering to be a seafarer, what should they expect as a monthly wage? And can you explain how someone who's interested in becoming a seafarer, what are the step procedure in becoming one?
Yeah, actually, for the normal basic seafarers, they earn in the foreign going vessels it will around $1,200 to $1,800 for the basic. And from the officer level, we are counting like second officer. From there, they can get 2,500 to $3,500 per month. From officer level and chief officer, from there they can get 6,000 to 8,000 USD. There, when they become for a captain, it will take they can get 1,400. I mean 14,000 USD for their wages for per month. So they need to become for becoming a seafarers. It's very easy because when the newcomer also can join the ship, they have to be finish 5 courses, basic 5 courses. That means it will take almost 25 days to continue to finish that course. After that, they can join the board and after getting 6 months sea service, they can go for another advanced courses. If they want to join me on officer level, they can join with three O level passes, and they have to complete 1 year training in the university. After that, they have to get experience from the sea. 1 year they have to. After that, they will get oral and COC. From there, the first level is for the officer level is second officer. Then there will be chief officer. Then there will be captain. Almost it takes 5 years to become a captain.
That seems like a great opportunity to start with. Thank you, Sofat. My last question for Suha. How can the young audience who's interested in diving career, how can they start? And what advice would you give to the kids today, which you would have given to your younger self?
If there are younger, like the kids that want to start diving, I'd say start talking. Because I haven't met any diver that doesn't want to get others involved as well. So speaking to a fellow diver at a young age is a great way to start. You know the basics. You can go dive in with instructors. It's much safer than you think. You're with a certified instructor is going to keep you safe, teach you all the skills you need to know to keep yourself safe in follow-up dives and such. And any advice that I would give to younger kids would be to go for it. It doesn't matter if you're like a girl or a boy. Diving has no gender. Anybody can do it. So just get started and go for it. Even at a young age, at 10 years old, you can get a junior open water already. So it's a great way to start.
Thank you, Suha. I hope the young audience take your advice. My final question for Azka is, how would you like to inspire the younger generation, and how do you think we can incorporate more awareness to the swimming starting at a younger age?
I would like to show the younger generations or just the people that there's no limit to what you can achieve. Like even though your goals may seem very crazy to the other people, there's just no limit to even setting your goals. You should go out there and work just really hard to achieve it. We're actually very blessed because we have the ocean surrounding us. So we've really got no excuse. What we have is an 800-kilometer of natural pool around us. Wherever you go, you're free to be like swimming wherever. So I think traditionally what it's been here is that swimming was always seen as something that you do when you go out on picnics or some holiday. It's more so like that. We need to start seeing it more as a sport and inspire younger generations to be a part of it.
Thank you, Azka. My final question for Sofat. What advice do you want to leave as your message to the audience who might be interested in becoming a seafarer?
Maritime industry actually, some people think that it is only for the men, but in these days, women also can join us on the ship, and the best advantage is they can visit all the countries for the free of charge, and they can earn a good salary.
Thank you, Sofat. To conclude, I would like to express my gratitude to all the contributors for making this session an insightful and warm environment. I hope you continue reaching great heights in your career, and all the best. It was a lovely conversation. I'm Aishat Naika from Marine Expo. Thank you, viewers. Hope you had a lovely evening.